A farmer friend of Pete's has asked him to clear the roebuck out of a willow plantation. Pete's asked me along to help. It is tricky stalking. The buck Pete wants is almost always on the other side of the plantation to us. I'm sure he uses the local barn owl population as sentries. So we resort to the high seat.
What's the best buck you've taken off here?
The biggest buck I've taken off here was 575 grams, which was a monster.
What's that in terms of medals?
That was a gold medal.
Is it a good gold?
A very good gold, because he also had the span, heavy purling, thick antler. It was
Purling's the lumpy bits?
Yes, that's right, yeah. Above the coronet, big coronets and heavy pearl in there. The roof nodules.
This rape field in front of us, if we've had one that's been lying down since we've been here, we'll just see the two ears coming up, won't we, like that?
Yeah, you'd see the ears and the nose just lifting above the rape.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it could be 10 yards, 100 yards. One could just stand up now.
Yeah.
It's imperative to go into the high seat quietly.
Yeah. Not to talk.
No, absolutely.
Because the pigeon scarer.
Yeah. The deer soon get used to the bird scarers. I don't even register them with me now. I've actually seen a buck and a doe laid next to a gas gun bird scarer. And it was going off and I'm just not bothered.
Have the quality of bucks always been this good?
Yeah, like I've said before, it's a gem in the roe stalking crown in the UK. It's Yorkshire. It's relatively unknown, but the quality of bucks here can be exceptional. There's so many small pockets. This farm's 500 acres.
Yeah.
And alongside we've got a military firing range, so it's a good reservoir of bucks. And to the north there's a nature reserve. It was a former RSPB reserve.
We've been here since, what, about 5?
No, I was here for 4 o'clock, so just after 4.
4 o'clock. If we don't see anything, what are we going to do next?
Well, as it's the last outing, if we don't see anything here in the next hour or so, we'll have to go have a drive around the area and see if we can pick something up. And we've got our backs against the wall, so we'll have to get a result. Reputations are on the line.
Absolutely.
Yours and mine, I hasten to add. If I'm going down, you're coming with me.
The last resort for a stalker is to drive the client around. You can't shoot a deer from a moving vehicle, but you can shoot as soon as the car stops. The willow stands in aisles like soldiers. Any of the aisles might hold the buck. We drive right round it, then Pete spots the animal. I'm not sure I hit it. Just to make sure we find the animal, Pete takes his Bavarian mountain hound with him. Note the dog is on a leash, the continental style of deer tracking.
Let me cast the dog on from there. Okay, so if I follow you, because you had the best idea where the deer was.
Bad news for the dog, good news for me. The buck is lying where I shot it. Pete soon grallochs it and brings it back to the car.
You can see the damage here, which is done by the buck's antlers when he's marking his territory, and you can actually see the residue on the coronets of the antlers.
But that's just a bit of old willow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of old willow, but it's a farmer's willow, and if you walk around this plantation, there's a great deal of damage, and he's not too happy about it at all.
How many acres of willow has he got here?
Here, this is an 80-acre block, and the damage all around the edges, and actually within the trees there's also some serious damage as well, so he's not happy at all.
So, what's special about East Yorkshire Roe? The answer is this stuff: chalk.
Antlers are made of calcium, so calcium must go into the antler to make a strong antler. And fortunately in Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Wolds is based on chalk. And chalk equates to calcium, which equates to big deer antlers.
So more chalk, bigger antlers, more money for stalking?
Absolutely. The heavier it weighs, the heavier the wallet is. The same chalk fault we have here, which comes out at Flamborough Head, actually goes all the way down to the cliffs of Dover. And not too many stalkers know that there's a good population of heavy antlered roe deer in East Yorkshire and to an extent in North Yorkshire. And it really is across the world land, and it's down to the calcium in the chalk.
Because they know about the big heads from Dorset and the chalk stream country of Hampshire, don't they?
That's right, yeah. And southern roe in the stalking world, and European hunters know about southern roe in the southern counties of England, but in Yorkshire it really is the jewel in the deer stalking crown of the UK.
Roe stalking is something, and roe deer is something we do incredibly well in this country, isn't it?
Yeah, the roebuck now is a sought after trophy with high value to it, and with the UK and Sweden we produce the biggest heads, and a lot of continental stalkers are paying big bucks really to come to the southern counties of England really in search of the big roebuck.
A perfect trip for me. Good company, a great roebuck, and Pete's views on the state of roe stalking today. Well, he should know.